You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in. All right, you guys. Appreciate everybody that's tapping on in. Like, share, and subscribe once again. Salute to everybody who support the stream. And let's get into this video. I'll need everybody to understand this video, my content, this is not about nobody's feelings. I want to start off by saying that is that I think everybody need to take their feelings personally out of the situation. When you have a situation like this that sparks your feelings, sometimes that could control your mind, your mentality, your mindset, how you think, how you react, how you feel. In a situation like this that starts such tensions, if you are thinking from a place of anger, if you're thinking from a place of wanting to get revenge, if you're thinking of a place of any of those things, because a young black brother have lost his life in the circumstances to where many people don't know what happened, is going to be a lot of different emotions, and sometimes your emotions can cause you to look at things differently. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take a step back, just 1 second, and I'm telling everybody, when you have an investigation into a death, like we do with the young fella, Nolan Wells, R.I.P. to Nolan Wells, man, and I pray that we find out what happened. Everybody, I believe, should take a step back. And the first thing I think everybody needs to see, because there has been new information put out here, and I'm about to tell you, I told y'all this last night, but y'all don't want to listen. Everything that we need to do is step back and listen and think about what hasn't been presented. What have we not been thinking about? Everyone that was on the island the day that Nolan Wells passed away should be questioned by police. The fact that the parents have come out, Ben Crump has come out and stated that they want this to be transparent means that also, I believe, if anyone is trying to aid and assist and help the case, here's my point. Katie understands the stress and the pressure that all those boys are going under right now, publicly. You know who hasn't said any word in the public? Katie. She hasn't. Her, nor if she has a lawyer, her lawyer. Right? I believe that all of them that were Nolan's friends should speak out to the public to try to help any way, shape, or form, because things that they could say may help the investigation. Yes, some people may always think that you did something wrong, even if you didn't. But the fact, if people put out information publicly, something can spark somebody to think about something that they didn't previously think about. So everyone on the island, nobody should come on the internet and be upset when a person like myself say, everybody that was on the island that day that could be tracked should be asked about Nolan Wells. Not just the boys, but if this was Nolan Wells on this boat right here, which it looks like that was Nolan Wells on the boat based off the shorts, the tone, and everything else that he had on that day. Well, then everyone in this photo should be questioned about, hey, did y'all see that boy right there? And nobody should have a question about it. Now, let me get to him. Once again, when you look at him, you have to take your emotions out of it. Why? Because everybody's angry. Nobody likes this guy. I understand it. But he said something. He said something that can end him completely. And what he said was, he has text message proof from Katie to the boys that Katie told the boys when they asked her, hey, where's Nolan? What's up with Nolan? That Katie said this, and let me play it.
Interview. Brandon Tatum is a very well-known influencer. You know how to get to his page. The interviews are all there and accessible. But give us the short answer. I think it was around 10 p.m. And the explanation that he gave me was that Nolan was hanging out with that girl, Katie. So they expected Nolan to be kicking it with her, hitch a ride back on somebody else's boat. They all plan to go to a central location to continue the party. But Nolan is not there. The girl that he was with shows up, but Nolan is not around. So he's now being concerned. He told me he thought Nolan may have been on somebody's couch or hanging out with somebody else. He said he didn't really know, but he'd rather be safe than sorry. So he said he wanted to call his mom before he called the Coast Guard. And he wanted to call her first and get her permission. And that's what he explained to me. And like I said, he shared the...
Now, stop right there. For everybody who said Tatum's a liar, I agree. Tatum has lied about a few things. But you know one thing Tatum did do? You know one thing Tatum did do? And I don't like Tatum at all. But you know one thing he did do? When he said that old boy called his mom twice. Now, Tatum, he lied about how much time he said the boy spoke with her. He said 8 minutes when the call was 5 minutes. But guess what he did? And I peep every little small detail. And I'm going to show y'all this. I'm going to tell you on my channel. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. This is what he did. He put this up. They posted this from the phone of that boy. Do you see that? Do you see that on your screen? Read that what it says. He posted the call. You can call BS all you want. Guess what? Nolan Wells' mama ain't out here saying that's a lie. Nolan Wells' mama, Christine, is not saying that's a lie. July the 4th, 2026, 11:07 p.m., outgoing call, 2 seconds. July the 4th, 2026, 11:07 p.m., outgoing call, 5 minutes. Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? The mother has not disputed that. So while Tatum has lied about various things, he didn't lie about that. So to the person who asks, why does it matter? Well, if you know your role, and shut your damn mouth, the great one will tell you why it matters. It matters because Tatum also says that he has text messages from the boys and Katie, where Katie is saying in the text messages that, hey, no, I saw Nolan, he rejected and refused to go on that boat at 4:30. I'm saying Katie should reveal the text messages to prove that Tatum's a liar or to prove what he says is telling the truth. Why am I saying that? Use your mind. Because Katie talked to the cops. And if Katie told the cops and she gave her phone to the cops and her phone says in the messages, like Tatum says he has, and he said the only reason why he didn't release her messages is because he wanted to get in contact with her and get permission to release the messages she had between the boys so that he wouldn't invade the privacy. Listen to what I'm saying. I still think Tatum should have released the messages and then forced Katie to come out and say what he said. And Tatum did not misspoke. This is what he said, and I'll play it.
Text messages. So I think it was like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. on the 4th. How do you understand the leap from curiosity to such deep concern? Because, all right, so I thought you were with her. You're not there. So first thing I would do is go up to her and say, where's my boy? Now, failing that, it's, well, I wonder where he is. Let's talk to other people who might know. Why go right to the Coast Guard? Yeah, the way he explained it in the interview is that he'd rather be safe than sorry. He said they started getting information.
Now, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Right? So they would have that call from them to the Coast Guard, meaning that call. Now, what did Tatum do? He showed the call. He showed that call.
Right? None of the friends that they came back with, it's like they don't have any contact with Nolan. He doesn't have his phone, so they can't call Nolan. They're contacting friends. They're asking the girl Katie, which he showed me the text messages from Katie.
Now, He showed me the text messages from Katie. Why is everybody afraid to hear Katie? Katie, the only one that's been in the cut this whole time. Katie have been in the cut this entire time. And to the lady who said I'm stuck on this point, I'm stuck on this point because this is the biggest point in the case. Because if you will understand what I'm saying to you, listen very closely. Katie talked to the cops. Nobody on the internet, not me, not anybody knows what Katie told the police. The cops got Katie's phone. Did they or did they not get Katie's phone? If the cops got Katie's phone and they saw her messages and the cops talked to Katie and Katie told the police and it's in her phone that she vouches for the boys at 4:30, Nolan telling them that he wasn't getting on that boat, guess what? Now it makes sense to why Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, and the Hall of Mama and them came out and had the press conference just the other day begging the FBI to get involved because the rumor is that the police department is about to send this thing to the grand jury. Meaning, you've been hearing the rumblings that they're going to say, hey, man, this is accidental death. He didn't even get on that boat. You understand what I'm saying to you now? And the boys, they would have not only had the alibi from all the video that Tatum claims he has that he didn't put out because they begged him to protect the identity of other people, which I don't think nobody's identity should be protected. That was watching this situation, everybody should be questioned. I don't like what Tatum did that talking about, we need to, the lawyers wanted me. I don't give a fuck what the lawyers wanted. We're trying to find transparency and get to the truth. Everybody that witnessed should have to speak. Now, what if all y'all been sitting out here getting on your knees for Katie this whole time and she's the boy alibi? Listen to what I'm saying. It's not confusing. Tatum says that he's seen messages. So he already showed a copy of the call from the boy to Christine Wells. Nolan's mama ain't disputed this phone call. He showed that call was on the 4th of July, 11:07 p.m., lasted 5 minutes. Right there. The mama ain't disputed this. Christine Wells had not disputed this call. Well, let me say this again. Christine Wells have not come out and disputed this call. This can easily be verified through the phone company. This is not up for question. This can be verified through the phone company. So the boys did call the mama that night. That's true. They did call him. They got the call right here. It's on your screen. This is facts over feelings on this channel. Facts over feelings. Don't matter what I feel about Tatum. I don't like him. But if he presents something that's a proven fact, I can't argue with that. That's the call right there. From that boy to Christine Wells to tell her. So now he says, I also have text messages from Katie to the boys saying that Katie says that Nolan refused to get on the boat with the boys at 4:30 and stayed on Horn Island. If Katie told that to the police, and also the police have text messages proving that Katie wrote that to the boys, the public would have never seen this. And Katie has been radio silent this whole time. Now it gives you even more of an understanding why the cops may say, once again, and to the person that I'm getting one side of stories, no, I'm not. Shut up and listen, lady. Shut your mouth and listen. It's not about me believing Tatum. What did I say? Listen to the words that's coming out of my mouth and listen to what I said, ma'am. What I said was, we don't know what Katie said to the cops. We don't know what was in Katie's phone that was given to the cops. The only thing you know is that you've heard that Katie said something. You've never heard from Katie. I'm saying, tell her to show the phone. Katie is seeing these boys get obliterated in the public. She's been quiet. Silent. Her sister came out and said something. Not her. I don't care about what her sister said. Her sister wasn't there. I want to talk to her. She need to come to the public. Because think about this. if she is one of the key people that was with Nolan, and she told the cops Nolan did not get on that boat at 4:30, it explains why the cops haven't looked at any of these boys. Another reason why they haven't looked at any of these boys as a part of the death of Nolan Wells, because Katie would have been a big alibi for them. And if Katie saw him, and then they had two other people say they saw him at 6, we're going to get into what happens if Katie saw him not get on the boat at 4:30. That changes everything. That changes the entire investigation. That takes the CTO audio call, all that shit. That makes it irrelevant. Listen, to the person who said Katie's irrelevant, it's a smoke screen, you're a fucking liar, and you don't know what you're talking about. Katie is the key to this case, period. You're blocked. Katie is the major key to solving this case, because what Katie does is she either verifies or declines a timeline. To the people who say the police are not applying any pressure, we don't know that. You haven't seen any of the investigation. We haven't seen any of the files. We haven't seen anybody, anything, any statements from witnesses. We haven't seen any of that stuff. So you don't know. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, because we don't know, what I'm saying is that she should come out to the public and release the text messages. Or Tatum, like he released that phone call, Tatum should say, fuck what Katie talking about. Release the text messages, Tatum. Tatum can force Katie to come out and have to speak on it if he released the text messages. What would be the only reason why Tatum really wouldn't release those text messages right now? It's two things. I want y'all to pick y'all brain. It's only two reasons why Tatum would not release the text messages right now. For one, he's lying, which I don't think he's doing, because he ain't that stupid to lie on a private citizen and get his ass annihilated, get his whole platform taken from him. Or two, well, I'll just be honest with you, because he want all these content creators to crash out, keep calling these boys murderers, so that when he get to court and they drop that evidence, 100% pure evidence, they'll be able to sue all of them for slander and defamation. Which is another reason why I think he won't release any of those other videos. I don't think the lawyers want to release any of those other videos either. And the reason why is because I think they want these content creators to put themselves all the way deep in the hole. So then when they release all this stuff and they bring this stuff to court, they're done. You think I'm lying? You think he lying? He showed that phone call. Is that phone call a lie? On your screen right now, Tatum showed that phone call. Everybody in the comment section, if you think that phone call on the screen is the truth, press 1. If you think it's a lie, press 2. The phone call he showed to Christine Wells. Remember, Christine Wells have not denied this phone call happened. Remember, I've already showed y'all the police report where it says that the boy called Christine Wells before this. So I'm just saying, it's not about Tatum. Once again, you have to take your personal feelings out of it. Because if he presents something that even Christine Wells has not complained about, I mean, we have to look at that. The mofo say he got text messages. The only reason why he couldn't believe it. So everybody keeps saying what Tatum's doing. I don't give a fuck about what Tatum's doing. You're missing my whole point. My whole point is, he also said that the boy called her and he released a screenshot of the call. So can you dispute that? To the person said 2 calls at 107, one was 2 seconds. So I can call you at 107, it'd be for 2 seconds, you don't answer, and then I call you right back. Boom. Like, immediate call right back, and it lasts for 5 minutes. To the people who said it could be fake, I doubt it. I doubt it. Christine ain't said it's fake. Christine would have already been out here on his helmet and said, oh, it's a lie, it's fake, it's not real. Guess what? Phone records. That's it. Phone records prove that shit instantly. See, you guys are not understanding what I'm saying. You're not understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying to everybody listening to this video is, Tatum said that the boy called him. He showed proof of the phone call. Christine Wells have not refuted this. Trust me. If that was fake, she would have came out and refuted it. They would have already had a reason to sue Tatum easily. He would have already been done. The question is, he says he also has text messages. Now he says the only reason he didn't release the text messages is because he wanted to get permission from Katie first to release the text messages. I'm saying to y'all, if Katie, listen now, the Ben Crump and all of them went and did the press conference yesterday, begging for the FBI to get involved. Why did they do that? You know why they did that? Because they got a birdie that this case is about to be sent to the grand jury, and it's about to be a case that they can't even get to the conclusion of. So that would mean that the boys will be cleared. What will be one big reason the boys will be cleared? What if they got Katie's phone and Katie's phone said, "Hey man, I witnessed Nolan reject to get on that boat," and she confirms their story. This is the reason why I said transparency means everything. This is the reason why I said Katie, what Katie needs to do, she need to bring her ass to the front of the class. Katie need to bring her ass to the front of the class. And if she don't, Tatum needs to drop those messages. Everybody needs to pressure Tatum to either stand on his nuts or sit down and shut up and release those messages. And to the people who say no evidence, tell Tatum to release the messages and then force Katie and her lawyer to come out and say Tatum's a liar and that Tatum is finished. That's how you handle it right there. Tatum dropped the messages, blur Katie's name out or her number out so nobody can see her number, blur her number out, drop the text messages, and then force Katie's lawyer and Katie to come out and either deny or admit it. Katie ain't said a fucking word. She don't skated on this whole situation, and y'all all let her do it. And I'm not even saying Katie's guilty of anything. I'm saying Katie has said nothing. And think about this. She's just quiet. Nah. No. Listen to what he said.
In contact with Nolan. He doesn't have his phone, so they can't call Nolan. They're contacting friends. They're asking the girl Katie, which he showed me the text messages from Katie. I didn't want to publish them without actually talking to her and interviewing her to give her.
I didn't want to publish them without talking to her, interviewing her. I wonder why he couldn't get in contact with her. Is that the same reason why probably none of the media? You don't think any of all the media have tried to contact Katie? Let me tell y'all something. You have to think on a different level when you think. Every media outlet in America have tried to talk to Katie. Why have Katie not interviewed with one of them? To the person who says, "Stop, we know Tatum's a liar." Once again, your brain is thinking on zero. Know your role and shut your damn mouth, sucker. Know your role and shut up and listen to what I'm saying. You guys, once again, you missed the whole point. Your foolishness and your stupidity and your mindset misses the whole point of what I'm saying. It ain't about whether or not you think Tatum's telling the truth. It's not about that. It's about Tatum said he saw text messages with the boys and he is in possession of text messages that Katie has told the boys when she was talking to some of the boys that night that, "Hey, I saw Nolan tell the boys he wasn't going to get on the boat at 4:30. He stayed on the island." If that's true, Tatum needs to drop the text messages. He said the only reason why he didn't drop them is because he wanted to talk to Katie first. Fuck Katie and her permission. Don't nobody want to hear about her permission? Nigga, blur out her name and drop the messages. Therefore, what do? You smoke them out. You make her and her lawyer have to come out to the public in the front, nigga. They ain't said a word the whole time. You make them have to come out to the front and say, "Hey, them fake messages, or they real." Then what does that do? That gives Ben Crump and his team an alley-oop. Why? Because Ben Crump and his team haven't been getting no information from the police. So now, if Tatum really wants to help and he drops those text messages, whether they're real or fake, whether you believe Tatum or not, that forces Katie and her lawyer to step their ass up and say something. You know why? Because now the whole general public gonna say, "Hold on, man. This girl don't say this shit in text messages that night." Now, you don't have to believe she said it. See? Batty, this is my point. Batty says she don't believe she said it. Batty, let me ask you a question. You don't know Katie from a can of paint. Neither do I. Why would you trust her? See? It's all about who you like. And that's the problem in investigations. In investigations, it's not about who you like or who you feel right. Sometimes in investigations, the people you like the most might be the ones you need to talk to the most. You can be unbiased in this situation. I don't care about Tatum and all that other shit. I want Tatum to have to be forced to drop those messages he said that he has. And then that would force Katie and her lawyer to come out of hiding, step up to the front. And what that does is that throws Ben Crump and his team in alley. I don't care about Javon. I'm not talking about Javon. I'm talking about Katie. You talking about everybody else but Katie, nigga. Shut up. I'm talking about Katie. Y'all keep changing the subject. You keep talking about Lottie, Dottie, and everybody. I'm talking about Katie, nigga. Tatum needs to drop the text messages, blur out the name of hers, that he said that Katie said this, and then that forces Katie and her lawyer to come to the front. They have to deny it or they have to admit it. And I'm going to tell you something. It's going to shake up the whole world if she admits it. She can't hide from that phone record, from that phone company. Because what would that mean? That would throw a major alley-oop to the parents. You know why? Because if she told the parents one thing, but they have text messages where she told the boys something different that night, now this gives Ben Crump something completely different to work with. Now, do you understand what I'm saying? That's why I said I don't give a shit about Tatum. You guys got to understand. I don't care about that dude. But he got something that we need in this investigation, allegedly. So if he got the text messages, tell Tatum to stop acting like a bitch and drop the text messages. You trying to help the investigation. That's what you say, Tatum. Release the text messages and force Katie to come out. Why you waiting on her? Oh, I gotta get permission, man. I want to make sure that you know she's okay. Nigga, you don't need that, nigga. Drop the text messages, nigga. And blur her name out. Force her to come out. Force her to come out. That's my point, Batty. Batty. This is what you don't understand. Again, I need people to listen on this channel. Please, this is what makes me so upset. Is our process, our mind and way of processing information is unbelievable in this world. Batty, I got number love for you. Listen to what you said. You said Katie didn't say it. She said Nolan was going back with the boys he came with. When did Katie say this? Did you hear Katie say it? No, you ain't heard Katie say a fucking word, ever. You've never heard Katie talk. But you're going off her statement like it's gold. You've never heard Katie say one word. You've only heard her sister come out in defense of her. You ain't heard Katie say shit. Not one interview, not nothing. You ain't even heard Katie say hi. But you coming on here talking about Katie, you're not listening. So this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying ride with me, queen. I'm saying ask questions. Know your role and shut your mouth when daddy's talking. Once again, people need to listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it ain't about whether you think Tatum is lying or telling the truth. If Tatum say he got the text messages, drop them shits, nigga. You know why? Because guess why, y'all? If the cops interviewed Katie and Katie told the parents one thing and remember, Ben Crump, the mama and the daddy are not privy to the information the cops are getting. That's why they wilding. So if Katie told the parents one thing and then went in that room and told the cops something else and her messages say something else, ding, 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 ding. Are you now listening? That's why we need transparency. Because if that's the case, you may never know what Katie said. if they don't release it. Listen to what I said to y'all once again. You have never heard Katie say one word. Picture that now. She's supposed to be so helpful. You haven't heard her voice ever. Listen to what I'm saying now. I want you to understand what I'm saying. This is not about an opinion. This is about Katie needs to answer if these are text messages from her. Because guess what? Ben Crump, Al Sharpton and them came up and did a press conference where they gave the FBI 7 days. Because the word is they're getting ready to close this investigation and send it to the grand jury. And the rumor is that this is being investigated or being claimed as an accidental death. But that's not my opinion. Once again, I'm going to say it again. I have not given an opinion on whether or not I think Katie wrote those messages or not. You don't comprehend English. The English, we want to speak to you in Spanish. ¿Tú quieres que yo hable en español? ¿Qué tú quieres? Dime. You want me to speak to you in French? Arabic? I don't understand what the fuck is wrong with you. Once again, I'm not giving my opinion on it. I'm saying to you, because of the dire necessity of the case, think what I'm saying to you. I want y'all to think what I'm saying to y'all. The parents, why are the parents out here crying like this? Why is Nolan Wells' parents crying? Why is Ben Crump and them out here complaining? What are they saying, y'all? They're saying, hey, man, they're not being transparent. That's what they're saying. They're saying they don't even know what's going on with the police investigation. What have I been on here telling y'all? How in the hell have Tatum and other people been allegedly getting leaked information from the police, but the parents don't know what's going on? And I do know how to talk. You talk to people, tell people to sit their ass down because they come in here talking shit and don't know the hell they talk about. And sometimes you can talk to people like that so they get to their thick ass school because they come in here stuck on stupid. And it's sad because it destroys a lack of knowledge and understanding, destroys my people every day. I ain't taking no sides. I'm saying I don't trust any of them. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't trust Katie. You shouldn't trust anything somebody said Katie said. Why? You've never heard Katie talk. Neither have I. That's why I said Brandon Tatum, if he have the text messages that he say he have, drop them shits. Why is that? Because that then forces Katie and her lawyer to come out to the public. Why am I saying that? Because the parents' biggest complaint is they're not getting any information from the cops. And if the word was that Katie told the parents, they don't know. I thought Nolan was going back with the boys. But Tatum has text messages on that very night where Katie said, nah, Nolan said he refused to get on the boat. Those are two conflicting statements. Use your mind. It's not about whether you think Tatum lied or not. It's about smoking Katie out and making her address that in the public. That way, the parents and Ben Crump have new information. Why? Because the cops ain't giving them shit. According to them, use your mind. Use your mind. Once again, Ben Crump is saying, man, look, man, we ain't getting the information we need from them, man. We in the dark. The parents don't even know. They're saying, man, what happened to our son? So if Katie went to the parents and told them one thing before, but Tatum is saying, nah, I got text messages that day when she was talking to this boy right here and telling the boy that Nolan told the other boys that he wasn't getting on the boat with them at 4:30. Imagine if the cops got that too. And if Katie told that to the cops. So you can say, hey, Tatum's lying. It's not about whether Tatum's lying or not. It's about making Katie come out and address it. And Katie will have to confirm or deny it. And then what happens? It turns out to be a battle between Tatum and Katie. And Tatum will have to fight for his entire platform against Katie and her lawyers. Use your brains. This is why I tell y'all, people don't think on the internet. They don't think. I want it to be Tatum versus Katie. I want Katie to have to be smoked out to the public with her lawyer, and I want Tatum to go after and Katie to go after each other over these alleged text messages. That way, we'll find out what's true and what's false. Because you know what Tatum and them will have to do next? Tatum will tell the boy, hey, go to your phone company and get the phone records. The boy can go right to his phone company and get the phone records and show the text messages are real. The boy can do that right now. The boy can go right to the phone company and get a copy of his phone records right now. And it will show all the messages he had in and out going with that certain person. Once again, so the person says how you have a conversation with, we're not talking about Nolan. You're not listening. Tatum said that the boy, he found, they had a mutual person where they got Katie's number. And they were texting Katie that night, the same night they called Christine Wells. Right here. He showed the phone call. And they were asking Katie, hey, Katie, you seen Nolan? And he asked Katie that, and Katie said, is what Tatum said in the text messages. Not on the call, in the messages. That's why I told y'all, this is lovely right here. Because if the parents and Ben Crump are not getting any information publicly, imagine if they got misinformation. Listen now and comprehend.
Yeah, I know that was a concern of yours, that you wanted to talk to her because... But asking the girl, Katie, which he showed me the...
Now listen, every media outlet is trying to talk to Katie. Katie ain't talking to nobody. Why is that? The only way you're going to get Katie out here is if Tatum drops those text messages. That forces Katie and her lawyer to come out here and say something. She ain't going to be able to hide behind that shit no more. She got to stand her ass out here and say whether those messages are true or not. So the person says you can change the name from the text conversation. No, you're not listening, Tracy Harris. That once again, your mind is on zero. Let me get you up to 100, baby. Your mind is on zero, baby. The one thing you can't fake, baby, is the phone company. Know your role and shut your mouth. When daddy's talking, listen very closely when the teacher is talking. Because class is in session. You keep talking about, oh, well, you can change the names. You can't change the phone company, man. Guess what you can do right now, Tracy Harris? You can take your ass to your phone company right now, Tracy Harris, and get all of your records from your text message history from your phone company right now. Can't nobody, they can't fake that in the company, baby. They can't fake that, baby. I don't see parole. I ain't seen parole in a minute, baby. See? That's why you have to use your brains, which is what a lot of people don't do, baby. Use your brains. Once you go to the phone company and they got that actual number, now Katie will have to explain how text messages came from her number to his phone, to the other boy's phone. So all that, oh, he can change the name. That shit don't mean nothing. Once again, another person, another one bites the dust, y'all. This is why I be telling y'all, they don't listen. They don't comprehend information good. Oh, you can change the name. That shit don't mean nothing. Change the name 100 times. I just go to the phone company because guess what? The other part of the message is on my half. I can go to the phone company too, just like you can go to the phone company. I can go to my phone company and get all the records right there, print them shits out, and take them right to the motherfucking cops. Or the cops can do it themselves. Cops can do it themselves. Peep game now. Peep game now. Right? A lot of these people that got iPhones, what they using? Let me ask y'all something. Because I got this picture. And you say, well, Ticket, how you know she got an iPhone? Well, I'm about to ask y'all something. I got this out the newspaper. I'm about to show y'all something. Don't y'all see how great I am at investigative work? Everybody's got a price to pay. Everybody's got a price to pay. Hold on, y'all. Let me show y'all this. Everybody in the comment section, you guys are specialists, right? I need y'all to do me a favor. Everybody, that's everybody in the comment section. Everybody in the comment section, tell me what kind of phone that is. What kind of phone is that? That's Katie right there. What kind of phone is that? Tell me in the comment section. You want to keep playing this game with me? I did not tell you I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And if you ask me where I got that picture from, that picture came from her Facebook. And this article was right there in the New York Times. Go look it up yourself. They have multiple pictures of Katie. You want to play this game with your boy? Come hop in an Impala with your boy. Come hop in an Impala with your boy. Now, let's get back to what we were saying. We're going to rewind this shit now. Since y'all want to play games with your boy, you can't get on my level, nigga. This is why I told you, when you're investigating, you take your personal feelings out of it. I don't like Tatum. You take your personal feelings out of it. I need information. Some of the things he might be saying is bullshit. And guess what? Some of the things he might be saying is true. You want to keep going? Let's keep going. So now, when he says he's looking at this call history, here's my point. Listen one last time, y'all. The parents have come out crying. Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, they've all said that the police department is not being transparent. They're not getting information on what's going on with their son. I believe them. You know why I believe them? Because I don't think that the police department likes them. Which is why I think other people are getting information on the other side, but they're not getting information. So what does that mean, y'all? That means that if Katie has been radio silent, but the police may have messages that exonerate those boys, and Katie may have told the cops that she saw Nolan refuse to get on that boat, this may be a big reason why the cops are getting ready to send all this to a grand jury and say, hey, man, accidental death, them boys, hey, we ain't got nothing on them boys. We got multiple witnesses say they saw Nolan Wells on the island at 6. This is the reason why you need to smoke Katie out with her lawyer. Not saying she's guilty, but she needs to answer questions to whether or not, when Tatum says he has text messages on her, now what does that do? That creates a situation with Katie and Tatum. Because Katie's lawyers are going to have to come up and say whether Tatum lied or told the truth about those messages. And it goes in front of the whole world. Now, Ben Crump, his investigators, and Nolan's parents have something legitimate to go off of, not just hearsay. They have actual messages that they would have never gotten until the case was closed and sent to a grand jury.
Without actually talking to her and interviewing her to give her context.
Yeah, I know that was a concern of yours, that you wanted to talk to her because,
but I see her text.
Now, he said he wanted to talk to her. So once again, everybody needs to force Tatum. Y'all need to put pressure on Tatum. Say F all that talking to her, X her name out, release the messages, and then make her and her lawyer come out and deny it or admit it. That's what you do. It will be so much pressure on Katie if he released those text messages. Her and her lawyer will have to come out to the media. And if her and her lawyer come out to the media and they're asked about it and they refuse to answer that question, woo! Listen now. Peep game now. Listen again.
Actually talking to her, interviewing her to give her context.
Yeah, I know that was a concern of yours.
He knows where he's at, right? None of the friends that they came back with, it's like they don't have any contact with Nolan. He doesn't have his phone, so they can't call Nolan. They're contacting friends. They're asking the girl Katie, which he showed me the text messages from Katie. I didn't want to publish them without actually talking to her, interviewing her to give her context.
Yeah, I know that was a concern of yours, that you wanted to talk to her because,
but I see her text messages, them asking her, when the last time you saw Nolan? Where is Nolan? Do you know who he's with? What did he get on another boat? They asking her all these questions. They're trying to find out Does anybody know where Nolan is at?
He said that's in a text message. Y'all say Tatum lying. See, this is the thing. You don't know Tatum's lying. Tatum said he got a phone call. He showed a copy of that phone call. Can't say he lying about that. Tatum said, I got the copy of the call where they called Christine Wells. And this is why I said, Tatum, he's protecting. Listen, I know what Tatum's doing. You guys got to roll with your fucking boy. I'm too great at this. I know what Tatum doing. You see this right here, y'all? Tatum released that phone call to protect them boys. Tatum has not released any of those other videos he got because he want to protect all those other people that are white from getting cooked and scrutinized and questioned in the media. Pan to Katie. Tatum doesn't think Katie's guilty. Tatum could have did what he did right here. See how Christine's name is up there, but her number's not up there? Tatum, but he did that. Tatum don't care about Christine. So he'll release this call. Why? Because he feels like that makes Christine look bad. Listen to what I'm saying to y'all now. But when it comes to Katie, I got to call Katie to get permission. Nigga, you ain't called Christine to get permission? Listen now. So he didn't need to get permission from Christine to put out this phone call from this boy to Christine. But he needed to call and try to get permission from Katie before he released text messages from Katie and the boys. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. You know what it is? And I'm not calling cap on it. I believe Tatum's telling the truth about that. I believe Tatum do not want to put Katie out here because I believe Tatum thinks Katie's innocent too. And I believe Tatum thinks that Katie will get attacked viciously if he was to release those without her permission. That shows that she is a witness for those boys. Now, do you understand me? Think about this, y'all. Think about how the internet has responded to Katie right now. Everybody been cool with Katie. Katie ain't had to say nothing. All she had to do is shut up, sit down, be quiet, and be under the cut. If it wasn't for me catching this, nobody would be talking to Katie about Katie. But since I caught this, and I'm bringing attention to this, think about this. Think about this. You have to think in the mind of Tatum. Tatum released this shit with Christine because that nigga ain't trying to protect Christine Wells. You think Tatum give a shit about Christine? He ain't finna call Christine. Hey, Christine, is it okay if I put this screenshot up here, this phone call? But he got to call Katie to make sure. No, Tatum, he knows Katie is their alibi. But Tatum doesn't want to put out Katie because, first of all, Katie's white. And second of all, Tatum don't want Katie to get destroyed by social media, being that she's white. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. If Katie was black and those are the messages, Tatum would have released them shits without even having to ask her. Now, are you following what I'm saying? See, Tatum believes Katie. And that's the same reason why Tatum said I got the other videos and that I don't want to reveal the videos because it's going to expose people that's not involved with this and the lawyers don't want me to do it. The fuck you mean? Everybody that was on that island that was watching this shit should be questioned. But he's holding those videos back because he don't want the whole internet to start jumping on these people. He got shit Ben Crump ain't got. You think he want Ben Crump investigators find out who all these people are? Peep game now. Peep game. So when he said, I want to call, he want to give Katie all due respect. Because he knows as soon as y'all see the messages, or if anybody finds out Katie told the cops something different than what they allege she told the mama and daddy of Nolan Wells, oh shit. The internet is going to go nuts. He knows it. and he gonna feel guilty that a white girl now is getting raked through the coals because the messages he dropped to try to protect them other white boys. Listen, that's why he gave Katie so much dignity and respect. I wanted to call Katie and get her permission. You don't think he didn't get a line to Katie? That's why I'm telling y'all, because you're going to be late to the party if they turn that information in, close this case, and get the information to the grand jury, and then you find out later on that Katie was a witness for the boys. Y'all going to be ticked. Right? Listen. That's why you study words. You show yourself approved. Listen.
Nolan, where is no? Do you know who he's with? What did he asking the girl Katie? He knows where he's at, right? None of the friends that they came back with, it's like they don't have any contact with Nolan. He doesn't have his phone, so they can't call Nolan. They're contacting friends. They're asking the girl Katie, which he showed me the text messages from Katie. I didn't want to publish them without actually talking to her and interviewing her to give her context.
Now, do you think he would have gave Christine Wells that same respect? Fuck no. He would have never gave Christine. If that nigga had text messages on Christine to the boys, he'd have released some shit. See, this is why I be trying to tell y'all. You have to understand, when y'all don't even think mentally on the level I'm telling y'all. This is why I be trying to tell y'all stuff. If Tatum had messages, text messages, between them white boys and Nolan Wells' mama, do you think Tatum would have said, well, I wanted to ask Nolan's mama first before I put him out to give her respect? Hell no. That nigga he'd have dropped them shits. See, y'all doing all this talking, but when it comes to Katie, the white girl, he got to give her the utmost dignity before he released those text messages. Why? Because he know what come with it. He know the criticism Katie get ready to get. If the whole world find out that there's text messages that she told them boys that night, not in the aftermath, but July the 4th, that night, that she witnessed Nolan Wells refuse to get on that boat. Oh, the internet will be tore up. And this is why I tell y'all, you must listen to understand and comprehend. That's why it doesn't matter if you think Tatum's lying or not. Doesn't matter. And if you don't have a brain, you won't think. But guess what? I guarantee everybody listening to this video, we're going to come back to this moment about Katie. When all the information is released to the grand jury, and y'all find out what really was in Katie's phone. Y'all find out Katie's statements to the police. We're going to come back to this video, and the video's not done on Katie, and we're going to have a full surface moment. I'm telling y'all this. I'm telling y'all this. Once again. Listen to what I said to y'all. So the person says, so why would she lie? 4-letter word. Fear. If everybody's out here that's in the white community is watching how these boys are getting annihilated and they're coming out here to the public telling their stories and watching how these boys getting cremated, why would anybody else want to come out and do any other public interviews and put themselves in the public? They're like, oh, hell no, I ain't finna say a damn word. They giving them boys all that smoke? Nope. I'm finna keep my ass quiet, sit over here in this corner and not say a word. Or if you ask me, hey, man, you know, I thought he was going with them. Yeah. Boom. Listen now. So the person who says you don't care what Katie says, you should. What she said means everything. Because what Katie said can change this whole case. This is the point you're not understanding. Because Katie is the main figure here. She's the girl that Nolan was supposed to be kicking it with. So if Katie has text messages that day, or if she told the cops in her official statement that Nolan Wells refused to get on the boat and stayed on the island, that exonerates all those boys that y'all said was guilty. That's why I said she should be forced to come out to the front and expose whether or not those text messages are real or false. Period. I don't trust nobody. And when you start trusting people in this case that you don't know, that's when you have a problem. And that's why I told y'all. Y'all keep coming out here just saying idiot stuff. And listen, it's not about being a fall girl. Because I'm not saying she's guilty of anything. She may not be guilty of anything. Two things can be true. But let's keep going.
Any contact with Nolan. He doesn't have his phone, so they can't call Nolan. They're contacting friends. They're asking the girl Katie, which he showed me the text messages from Katie. I didn't want to publish them without actually talking to her and interviewing her to give her context.
Yeah, I know that was a concern of yours, that you wanted to talk to her because,
but I see her text messages them asking her, when the last time you saw Nolan? Where is Nolan? Do you know who he's with? What did he get on another boat? They asking her all these questions.
So he said he saw the text messages where they're asking Katie all these questions. And she's answering them. Remember, the cops are not being transparent with the Wells family. So the Wells family don't know any of this shit. So that's why I said you get information however you can get it. So now, if what Tatum has said is true, tell Tatum drop the text messages. That forced Katie and her lawyer to come out. But I'm going to tell y'all why Tatum won't do it. Because Tatum, he says he's not. See, this is how you beat Tatum. Y'all, a lot of y'all do not understand how to beat Tatum. This is how you beat Tatum. You make Tatum destroy what he loves the most. I would make Tatum go to war with Katie and her lawyer. You said that Katie has text messages where you saw her telling the boys that Nolan refused to get on that boat. Prove it. Drop the text messages, Tatum. Don't come out here and say, nah, man, I ain't want to do it. Because, nigga, you ain't do that for Christine Wells when you show the information on that call from the boy. Show the messages, Tatum. You trying to help the case. You say that you ain't playing both sides. Show the messages. And now make her come out with her lawyer and either reject them or accept them. Because if she comes out and rejects them, now it's a one-on-one battle between her, her lawyer, and Tatum. Once again.
To talk to her because,
but I see her text messages them asking her, when the last time you saw Nolan? Where is Nolan? Do you know who he's with? What did he get on another boat? They asking her all these questions. They're trying to find out, does anybody know where Nolan is at? And what he told me in the interview is that people, they drown out there. People die out there on that island. So there was a slight concern, but he did tell me that he thought Nolan may have been just couch surfing, hanging out with some girl or something of that nature, and may have not, wanted to respond the next day. But he said he did not want to. He better be safe than sorry because that's his friend. And he couldn't live with himself if something had happened and he never did anything.
From your read on the text, was Katie forthcoming and helpful?
Yeah, it appears she was forthcoming. It appeared that she had gaps in her memory. Obviously, these kids out here having a good time, so I think she didn't remember.
Look how he's making excuses for Katie. An investigator doesn't do that. That's why I told y'all. He's clearly trying to protect Katie. He's clearly trying to protect Katie. So he's not trying to expose Katie. He's trying to protect Katie. But he's also accidentally exposed that Katie's an alibi for those boys. Because look how he says, she says she has gaps in memory, but man, them kids out there, they having fun. What do you mean, nigga? I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't want to hear none of that. I want to see the messages. So the person says you can prove it's fake, you can't prove it's fake, brother. You can't prove it's fake. The only person that can prove it's fake is the phone company, brother. And guess what? I got the actual police report. The police report says the same thing, that they have the actual report. The boys did call the mama at that time. The boys did call the mama. And then the mama called the cops at 11:39 p.m. I have the police report. I already showed you the whole report. That's how the mama found out, asshole light. The mama found out that Nolan was missing because the boys called the mama. Look at the time. The boys called the mama, and then the mama turned around and called the authorities. The mama called the authorities at like 11:39 p.m. You want to keep playing? So you might want to shut your mouth, boy. And it's in the actual report of what time the boys called the mother and what time the mother called the cops. That's not debatable. So when you say this ain't real, no, you ain't real, nigga. So they did call the mama that night. So stop coming to my channel lying, nigga. They did call her. The screenshot is not fake. You're lying, sir. I actually have the real report. The screenshot is not fake. You're blocked. It's not fake. You're blocked. Excuse me. The call, it can be made public. The call, I mean, the information from the actual call, I showed y'all the paperwork. Everybody that saw the paperwork, I showed press one. Remember I showed y'all the paperwork when I told y'all this? Don't make me get it, man. Don't make me do it again, man. Yo, press one if y'all remember I showed y'all just the other day the paperwork. Press one. Everybody in the comment section knows I just showed y'all this paperwork. If you subscribe to my channel, I just showed you the paperwork the other day. Period. So we ain't got no reason to come on here and lie. I showed you the official paperwork that where the mama made the call. The mama made the call like at 11:39. It was either 11:39, 11:49 p.m. when she got a call first. That's how she knew to call them. She knew to call the authorities because the boys called her. Period. Now let's keep going. That's why I told y'all. Y'all sitting over here. Y'all don't sit over here. And I'm telling y'all this, bro. I think Katie is one of the boys' biggest alibis. Shout out to the person who got the membership in the chat room. Salute to you. I'm telling y'all this. That's the call right there on the screen. Let's keep going.
Everything is clear, but she wanted to respond the next day, but he said he did not want to. He better be safe and sorry because that's his friend, and he couldn't live.
No, you're not listening. You said you Googled it. That's the thing. That's a lie, ma'am. You know why that's a lie? Nobody knows what Katie told the cops, not even me. You said you Googled it. Ma'am, there has been no official report released yet from the police. Y'all see how these people on the internet are easy to Ether? There is no official report from the police been released. We don't know what any statement said to the police. So when you say I Googled it, you're a liar. I'm going to say it to you again. To the person who's focused on Katie too much, no. She's the main key figure in this situation. What are you talking about? Then this girl will say, I Googled it. You can't Google shit. They have not released any information. Let me say this again to you. The police department have not released any of the interviews that they've had with any witnesses. Nobody knows what she told the cops. This is the reason why I'm saying that Tatum saying he has these messages from the boys with Katie needs to be released. That way, Katie will have to come out with her lawyers in the public. And this helps Ben and Crump get more information because they're not getting it from the cops. Listen very closely. This is why you listen very closely before you open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Couch surfing, hanging out with some girl or something of that nature, and may have not, wanted to respond the next day, but he said he did not want to. He better be safe and sorry because that's his friend. And he couldn't live with himself if something had happened and he never did anything.
From your read on the text, was Katie forthcoming and helpful?
Yeah, it appears she was forthcoming. It appeared that she had gaps in her memory. Obviously, these kids out here having a good time, so I think she didn't remember everything as clear. But she did say a few things that I think gives some idea of whether the boys were telling the truth. Because you got to think, I'm looking at a text message where they don't know each other. Mm-hmm. And they're asking her questions and she's giving them responses with somebody she don't know and they don't know her, so it's not coerced. And she said that she heard them yell, Nolan, get on the boat. She said Nolan did not get on the boat. And Nolan did not get on the boat he came in on, which would have been Wyatt's boat that was getting towed out. But then she goes on to say, she had a gap in her memory and she don't know what happened to Nolan afterwards. She thought he was gonna go with his friends, but he never did.
See? He said, once again, this is not about me being right. I'm not saying I'm right. Get your ass off my channel. You sound stupid. People don't understand when I say something. Oh, you want to be right? No, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying you need to shut the hell up. I'm saying that Katie needs to reveal whether or not those text messages are real or not. Whether she sent them or not. And whether she's told the cops was she witness or not. Because Tatum also said that Katie said that she thought that he was going back with the boys. Listen one more time. But he didn't. Listen to what he said. This is what he said. It's in the messages. So that's why I said, when you see the internet, you only get a piece of the story. That's why I said Katie needs to come out. But somehow people have a problem with me saying that Katie needs to be put on the grill. She needs to be put on the foreman grill in question.
Which would have been Wyatt's boat that was getting towed out. But then she goes on to say, she had a gap in her memory and she don't know what happened to Nolan afterwards. She thought he was going to go with his friends, but he never did. So,
bro, you said, how did they get her number? Bro, listen, let me tell you something. If we all out on an island and I know certain people that might know somebody else and I don't know them, if I don't know a certain person, but I know somebody who may know you or may know that group, I say, hey, man, look, hey, you know them people that was over there? Hey, get their number. Hey, tell them I need to get that girl number that was talking to Nolan. Nolan's lost. That's that's easy, bro. What are you talking about? Bro, just, hey, I know somebody who knows somebody. Like, it's the same thing as YouTube. Like, if I need to get somebody's number, if I need to get a content creator's number, but I don't know that other content creator, I can just go to a content creator I know may know him. Or somebody else, hey, you know that guy? You know this content? Hey, yo, tell him I need to get his number. Boom. Use your brains, bro. Y'all people don't have brains on the internet, bro. It's sad. It's really sad. It's not listen, you're not hearing me. The articles are lying. Nobody has privy information to what was said to the cops. The information is sealed in the case file. The only reason why Tatum is saying this information is because he's looking at a text that happened with the boys that come directly from the boys' phone. Listen now. Once again, that's not what she assumed. You're wrong. Katie has not stated anything. You haven't heard Katie say a fucking word. Stop lying, Tashawn Spears, whatever your name is. You sound crazy, Tasha. You have not heard Katie say a fucking word. You don't know what she sound like. You don't know anything. Shut up. The hell you sit up here talking about Katie said. You ain't heard her say a word. I haven't heard Katie say a word. That's why I want to hear Katie talk. I want to hear her be questioned. Why? Because I can't go off hearsay. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. You will bring your ass on here and quote something as a quote as if you heard it and you didn't hear it. See, I treat you like they'll treat your ass in a court of law. When you come in a court of law and you say, oh, well, Katie stated, okay, they'll ask you this, and I will break your ass down on the comment section. I will break your ass down, not only in the comment section, on the stand. If I was a prosecutor, I'll break your ass down on the stand. Because I would say to you, you said that Katie said this. Did you hear Katie say it? Oh, no, well, okay, get your ass off the stand. Next, Your Honor, and you're toast. You heard it from a newspaper. Tatum is not giving hearsay. Once again, you're fucking lying. Tatum says he has the text messages and he's seen them. That's not hearsay. That's a man who says he possesses information. That's something completely different. Know your role and shut your damn mouth when you're talking to greatness. The only person that says something is her damn sister Gracie. You have not heard Katie say one word. So you can't say, oh, well, Katie said this, Katie said that. We ain't heard Katie say a word. I don't go off hearsay. Tatum saying, I have the text messages. I'm saying, if Tatum has the text messages, everybody should force Tatum to drop them. Everybody should force Tatum to drop them. Tatum said he had a copy of the phone call. He showed it. He showed it. Tatum said he had videos from on the boat with the Cito. If Tatum didn't show this, nobody would have seen him. Tasha, think about this, Tasha. If Tatum would not have showed this, nobody would have seen this. You wouldn't even have had this picture. Think about this. Tasha, you're out of here. Get your ass out of here. Just shut up. Get your ass out of here. I don't have time for foolishness on this channel. I want y'all to use y'all brains. If Tatum did not show these photos, nobody would have these photos or videos. As much as we don't like Tatum, if Tatum did not show this, I'm going to say it again to y'all. Once again, I want you to really use your brain and think. We don't like Tatum. But if Tatum doesn't show these photos and videos, we never even see this. Nobody has anything to analyze from this. Once again, somebody says, why can't he show the text messages? That's, bro, you're missing my whole point. You're missing my entire point. That's my entire point. My point is that Tatum is not, he is giving these people the benefit of the doubt because they're white. If that was a black girl, if that was Christine Wells, who had text messages with the boys, Tatum would not have asked for her permission. Tatum would have released those text messages because Christine Wells is black and he don't like Christine Wells. What color is Katie? Katie's white. Tatum's always going to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's not black. So Tatum says, oh, well, I had to ask her first and get her permission before I put it out. What the fuck you mean, nigga? What you mean? Listen to what I'm telling y'all, man. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. Right? I don't think people really understand what I'm saying. I don't think people really understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to believe everything Tatum say or what Tatum's saying right. Y'all missing the whole point. I'm saying Tatum claims to have evidence to prove that Katie made a statement. We're not saying word of mouth. He's saying he got the actual text messages. He also said that he had the phone call with Christine Wells, but guess what he did? He had no problem leaking that phone call history. You know why? Because Christine Wells is black. She's half black, so he don't care. If Christine Wells was a white person, he would have asked permission before he released that. Same reason why he won't release the full videos he have on the boat. Remember, all of this information y'all got that people are analyzing is because Tatum released this shit. You have to think about that. Most of the information that's on the internet that people are reviewing is shit Tatum released. And they don't even realize this shit. Let's just be honest. It befuddles me how people don't understand this.
He didn't stay and hang out with her as far as you know.
As far as what she said, he didn't. Other people are saying, which they could be conflating.
Listen.
The gap in her memory, and she don't know what happened to Nolan afterwards. She thought he was going to go with his friends, but he never did.
So he didn't stay and hang out with her as far as you know.
As far as what she said, he didn't. Other people are saying, which they could be conflating her with another girl. I'm not sure. But people are saying...
two things can be true at the same time. But y'all not listening to what he said? So he's saying that Katie's saying in the messages, no, I saw Nolan not get on the boat. He just didn't hang out with me. Listen now. Listen. Listen one more time.
She said Nolan did not get on the boat, and Nolan did not get on the boat he came in on, which would have been Wyatt's boat that was getting. She didn't remember everything is clear, but she did say a few things that I think gives some idea of whether the boys were telling the truth. Because you got to think, I'm looking at a text message where they don't know each other, and they're asking her questions, and she's giving them responses with somebody she don't know, and they don't know her, so it's not coerced. And she said that,
ma'am, you're wrong. You're totally wrong. I don't understand why people don't use their brains on the internet. Did you read the report? Did you read the report, ma'am? Let me ask you a question. How the fuck you think? And y'all making me mad. Y'all making me curse. How in the hell do you think that Christine Wells knew to call the Coast Guard or to call the police about her son? I'm going to let you answer that question. How do you think that Christine Wells knew to call the cops at 11, damn near 11:50 about her son being missing? How do you think she knew? I'm waiting on you. You doing all that talk in the comment section. I'm waiting on you. How do you think that Christine knew out of the blue? Okay, shut your mouth, man. Talking about she ain't get no response. The 5-minute call was probably voicemail. Shut up. A call doesn't go 5 minutes when it goes to voicemail, man. A call goes 2 seconds when it goes to voicemail, and then you hang up. The timer doesn't start until the voicemail or you answer. Use your brains. You don't go 5 minutes. The call don't start. If I call you right now on my iPhone, I call you right now. Use your brains. If I call you right now on an iPhone and you don't pick up and your voicemail pick up, hi, this is, and I hang up, it's going to say 2 seconds. If I call you back and I hang up before the voicemail comes, it's not going to say any seconds because there was no connection. If I call back and you pick up and we talk for 5 minutes, it's going to say 5-minute call. The timer doesn't start when you actually make the call. The timer starts when the person picks up the call. Do you understand? I'm saying this to y'all once again, right? Right? Listen, I need you to understand. I know it's hard. I know it's hard.
she heard them yell, Nolan, get on the boat. She said Nolan did not get on the boat.
Now, he says she heard them yell, Nolan, get on the boat. Nolan did not get on the boat. Now, listen. He also says that, listen what else he said.
And Nolan did not get on the boat he came in on, which would have been Wyatt's boat that was getting towed out. But then she goes on to say, she had a gap in her memory and she don't know what happened to Nolan afterwards. She thought he was going to go with his friends.
She thought he was going to go with his friends. That could be true too. She could say, and y'all misinterpreted it. She could have said, oh, I thought he was going to go with them. But that doesn't mean that she saw him go with them. So she could have saw Nolan refuse to get on that boat at 4:30 and then say, yeah, I thought he was going to end up going with them. And y'all didn't get the rest of the conversation. Peep game now. Nolan was not on that boat. Peep game. Once again, if I'm talking to you, you can take what I'm saying out of context. So if I say, hey man, bro, man, Nolan, man, they was begging Nolan to get on that boat at 4:30. Nolan didn't get on that fucking boat, man. You know, but I thought he was gonna go with his friends. But he didn't get on the boat. If you don't hear the part where he didn't get on the boat, all you heard was, I thought he was gonna stay with his friends, that changes everything. That's why I told that girl, you didn't hear the quote from her. You heard just what was released. That's why we need to see the text messages and hear from Katie. Katie needs to be questioned. You listening?
And she said that she heard them yell, Nolan, get on the boat. She said Nolan did not get on the boat, and Nolan did not get on the boat he came in on, which would have been Wyatt's boat that was getting towed out. But then she goes on to say, she had a gap in her memory, and she don't know what happened to Nolan afterwards. She thought he was going to go with his friends, but he never did.
And he never did. See, that's the part the whole mainstream media didn't get. He never did. If that nigga had that on the text messages, game over. And that means people were just putting bits and pieces and not the whole story. Are you listening now? That's why it's very important to hear Katie's side publicly on this. And she should be pushed to come to the public to speak on this, to verify or deny whether or not she sent those messages and whether or not the police have those messages and whether or not she told that same thing to the cops. That's my whole point. My whole point has nothing to do with whether Tatum told the truth or lie. I don't give a fuck about Tatum. I want the information. Listen now. So that's why I'm saying she's so important, because if Katie saw Nolan not get on the boat, thought he was going to go with his friends, but saw that he didn't go, that changes everything. That changes the entire timeline. And now it goes along to what I've been telling y'all, which I think it was foul play, but it's something happened later on that island. Peep game now. And I have more questions I have to ask Katie, and I've been telling y'all this. And I told y'all yesterday some questions I had that I wanted to ask people, especially Katie too, but other people, about Nolan's glasses, Nolan's the red chain he had on, or the red necklace he had on. Did he have on sandals? But I have more questions I would ask Katie, and I'm gonna say this again. A lot more questions I would ask Katie that were already in my brain. You know what I would ask Katie? If I interview Katie right now, Katie, what time did you leave Horn Island? I don't want to hear from nobody else. I want to hear from you. Katie, what time did you leave Horn Island? Katie, whose boat did you ride back in on Horn Island? Katie, did you look for Nolan at any point between 4:30 p.m. and the time that you left the island? Katie, did you mention to your family or anyone on that boat that a boy had been left behind on the beach? Katie, did you see Nolan's friend's boat stalling or struggling in the water as it tried to leave? Katie, did you see any other specific boats anchored near the island that Nolan could have potentially approached or asked for a ride? Katie, can you walk us through your phone logs from 4:30 p.m. until midnight that night? You let me question Katie, I get every fucking answer need known to mankind. Let me repeat that again. Katie, can you walk us through your phone logs from 4:30 p.m. until midnight that night? Katie, who was the very first person you spoke to over the phone or in person about Nolan being missing? Hey, Katie, If you had a memory gap, what is the very next clear memory you have after seeing Nolan refuse to get on board with those other boys at 4:30? Katie, have you ever met Nolan before the day that you saw him on Horn Island? Katie, did you or Nolan have mutual friends? Katie, did you have any type of sexual relations with Nolan that day on the island? Katie, did Nolan mention any kind of conflict or tension that he had between himself or any of the friends he came with? Katie, did anyone take photos or videos on their phones that afternoon that show you and Nolan together? Katie, did Nolan ask you to use your phone or anyone else's phone after his friends left with his phone? Katie, when did your sister or your parents first become aware of the text messages you sent about Nolan staying behind? Katie, why did your family publicly state that you thought that he got on the boat when your own text messages allegedly say he didn't? Katie, did anyone advise you or pressure you to change your story or your timeline after Nolan was reported missing? Katie, were you in a relationship or ever had sexual relations with any of the other boys that were with Nolan in that group on the island? Katie, did you and Nolan have any plans to meet up later on that night at a party on the mainland? Katie, did you send Nolan Wells' phone any messages? Katie, did you and Nolan even exchange phone numbers? Katie, did you see Nolan ask about or did Nolan say anything about his phone? Katie, if you did send Nolan a message, knowing that he would have probably got it later, what did you say to him? Katie, did you see Nolan with sandals? Katie, when Nolan was with you on the island and you guys were together, did he have on sunglasses? Katie, did Nolan have on a red beaded necklace when you were with him on the island that day? Katie, when you were with Nolan that day, did he have any beers? Katie, if Nolan had beers, can you remember how many beers Nolan drank while you was around him? Katie, were you drinking too? Katie, can you remember how many beers you had, Katie? Katie, how much time did you spend with Nolan Wells that day? Can you remember? Boy, I got 100 questions I can ask that girl out of my brain. This is all coming out my brain. Katie, did Nolan ever say he had to go pee pee? Katie, when you were with Nolan, exactly what position were you guys in? Were you in the water? Were you on the sand? Or were you in a boat? Nobody ever explained or ever had an explanation of where you two were that day on the island? Were you in between a boat where nobody could see you? Were you out in the open with other people? Were you in the deck? Katie, how far out in the water did you and Nolan go if you were in the water? Katie, did you wear a bathing suit? And if so, what color was your bathing suit? Think about this. All these questions. Katie, were you wearing a headscarf that day on the island? Katie, were you planning on having sexual relations with Nolan later on that night when you got back to the mainland? Katie, did you know that Nolan had left his phone on the boat with his friends? If you didn't know that he left his phone on the boat with his friends, did you try to write him when you got back to the mainland to see where he was at or what he was doing? Come on, man. Y'all stop playing with me, man. You put me in the room with these people and I ask questions where I get to the answers to all this shit. I told y'all that. People out here letting these people off the hook. These supposed to be questions that these people were supposed to be answering. I'm not saying because you're guilty of anything. I'm saying because I want to find out what happened with Nolan Wells. Katie, what are the names of the people that you were with that witnessed you with Nolan Wells? Then you know what I do? I go talk to those people. Hey, how long did you see Katie with Nolan Wells? Then I go back to Katie. Katie, were you kissing Nolan Wells on the island? Katie, had you ever dated any other person that was out on that island that day? Katie, did any other men that was on the island try to talk to you that day? Flirt with you? Get your phone number? I'm telling y'all this. All that shit means something. You guys, like I said before, man. And I'm not saying this is because she's guilty. I'm saying because we need answers. Because once she answers all these detailed type of questions I got, now what that does is that leads you. It's a chain reaction. It leads you to other people. Now you ask these other people all these questions, right? Oh, hey, dog, you saw them two on the island. How long did you see them together? Did you see them later on? What was their interactions, man? Right? You said, do I have questions for the boys? Yeah, you're not listening. Have you not been listening to my videos? I've already gave all the questions for the boys. But what I'm saying to you is this. The boys' timeline is out of here if Nolan Wells is on that island after 4:30. I don't need to hear nothing else about them boys. I'm talking about a whole different set of boys now. See, that's why you get to the timeline. The timeline lets you know. See, that's the part y'all don't understand. And Katie is a big part of determining the timeline. Because here's the part you don't know. If the cops got two people that knew Nolan, that was cool with Nolan, and that saw Nolan on the island after 6 p.m. or at 6 p.m., y'all in trouble. Right? But as I tell y'all, these are all the questions that I would ask Katie. Then I would go ask the next people. Once I find out who the people are that was around Katie that day, now I'm asking them. Now they're giving me information about other people. Now I'm tracking down to find these people. I'm asking them. Right? Straight up. See what I'm saying? I'm just going to be honest with all of y'all. And I told y'all this. Y'all going to be mad at me. I don't give a shit. I know I'm going to be right in the end. That's the crazy part. I don't think any of those boys had anything to do with the death of Nolan Well. I think it was something completely different. And I think that Katie is their alibi. Now, Katie can reject that by coming out and saying that Tatum's a liar and showing evidence that Tatum lied about the text messages. But the first thing y'all have to do is force Tatum to release the text messages. Tell Tatum, hey Tatum, just like you released that phone call, release them text messages. That's the only way Katie comes out. The only way y'all gonna get Katie to come out and do an interview with her lawyer, or her lawyer do an interview, is if Tatum released the text messages. Because now she'll have to come out and speak about that. Because there'll be so much unrest. She'll be forced to come out with her lawyer and speak out on that publicly. Because she'll have to explain her whole situation. So the person said, why are they lying? I mean, we don't know if they're lying or not. You don't understand. We have not seen the actual investigative facts. That's why I told y'all I don't trust any of these people. But the reason why I don't think the boys killed Nolan Wells is because for them to kill Nolan Wells and be right there on the goddamn island, 1,000 people ain't keeping no secret, bro. We live in a dirty world, man. Don't y'all see people go to court every day? You can't even get 5 people to keep a secret. Somebody gonna snitch. Somebody gonna crack. Somebody gonna turn. When's the last time you've ever seen 500 people in one place and everybody stay on code? That's never gonna happen. You can't even get 100 people in this chat room to stay on. They subscribe to this channel and they'll go against me in a heartbeat. Black folks. You can't even get 100 black folks to stay on the same page. Think about what I'm saying to y'all now. Somebody always gonna fold. In every case, it's always somebody gonna crack. So yeah, that's why I told y'all I don't think they lied, bro. With that amount of money, because guess what? The cops could have went to them and said, "Yo, we're gonna give you full immunity. You tell us the truth, we'll give you full immunity." Period. So the person said, "Mississippi, man, I can give you crime in every state, bro, not just Mississippi. I can give you racism in many other states. You talking about Mississippi, nigga? Take your ass to Alabama, nigga. you want to play this game? Take your ass down to Alabama and see what time it is. You want to see the face of racism? Go to Alabama. Go to Texas. You want to keep doing this shit? Y'all niggas ain't never really been nowhere before. Take your ass to South Carolina, nigga. I'll show you some real racism. So stop acting like, oh, it's just Mississippi. Man, listen, bro, I can show y'all niggas a whole goddamn southern region. Y'all want to talk about something? Take your ass right down there. You, like I said, you can go stop right there in Texas. We just saw 2 white boys that was arrested for racism, racist graffiti. So the first time I'm defending Mississippi, see, this is the problem right here. Lack of comprehension on YouTube. Do y'all see this? Nobody says I ever defended Mississippi, but look at her. Oh, you're defending Mississippi? This is how bullshit gets started on the internet, y'all. And people say, oh, you sound like you're defending Mississippi. See, that's your problem. Your level of comprehension is on 0. I'm telling you that when y'all talking about Mississippi, nigga, I can show you Arkansas, Alabama, South Carolina, Texas. All these places are extremely racist. Extremely racist. The fuck is wrong with you? You just saw 2 white boys that were arrested for racist graffiti. Not only that, their own cheerleaders came out and said they was bullies. Not only that, they had also had a whole school record. So the person said, I don't believe the call. No, I believe the raw audio call. I do not believe the doctor call. No, it's not authenticated. And this is the reason why y'all don't hear Ben Crump saying nothing about it. Bro, if that audio, let me tell you something, bro, use your brain. If that audio was on something, Ben Crump would have been out here like goddamn Martin Luther King Jr. holding that shit up in the sky. He's not for a reason. Period. So I'm telling y'all, when you talk about racism, it's not just y'all acting like it's just Mississippi. I'm telling you, bro, I can show you real racism. Take your ass to Selma, Alabama, nigga. Niggas talking about racism, nigga. Take your ass to Selma, Alabama. Go to Tuscaloosa. Go to Little Rock, Arkansas, nigga. Take your ass down there to Collin County, Texas. Right? Peep game now. The hell these people talking about. Right? Go to South Carolina. I'll take you to a place they spit in your food, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. They spit in your food in South Carolina in some places. And they gonna tell me, oh, take it, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. The hell you talking about? Yeah, you ain't gonna tell me that. I'll keep it 100 with you. Take your ass to Los Angeles, California. You got some of the most racist, bro. We already know what happened in Cali. Boston. Come on, bro. Stop this shit, man. Right? I'm keeping it 100 with y'all. Milwaukee. Milwaukee, one of the most racist. What about Minneapolis, Minnesota? Pure face of racism. Buffalo, New York. Stone cold racist up there. Cleveland, Ohio. Racist like a mofo. You got more anti-black crimes that happen in Boston than you do in Mississippi. You're gonna tell me that. In Boston, they calling the NBA players in the arena N-words. In their face. They call their own players in the streets N-words in Boston. I'm telling y'all this. Yeah, Chicago racist in a mofo too. Some of these places deal with more racism than Mississippi. You said, how did he get all this information? Well, he's talking to the boys. He got to get the boys' information from their phones. So them boys gonna have some information, man. That's why I said, you get whatever information I can get, you can get to the public. She need to be questioned. So the person said this is a contest. No, sir, this is not a contest, ma'am. This is to show you that Mississippi is not the only place that's racist. Motherfuckers is acting like, oh, it's far and beyond in Mississippi. No, it's more racist in Boston. I can prove that shit with statistics. What the fuck is you talking about? It's more racist towards black folks in Boston, Massachusetts. Ask anybody. Do you know what the fuck they did in Boston, Massachusetts to a world champion by the name of Bill Russell? Bill Russell was a world champion in Boston, Massachusetts. Do you know what they put in this nigga basement? Stop playing with me, man. They built that shit. I done told you. You go places in South Carolina, spit in your food. Just because you black. Cleveland, Ohio, racist and a mofo. I be telling these people this shit, man. They don't be want to listen, man. Take your ass to the Bama and see what happens. I'm telling y'all acting like it's just in this one fight. And this, nah, nigga, I'm telling you. That shit disgusting, bro. So when they say that, I'm just telling you what it is. I think Boston has probably got to be the most racist city in the United States. To me, Boston take the cake. So for people to come in here and say, "Oh man, Tiki, you trying to?" Nah, nigga, I'm telling you that in Mississippi is not the only place that deal with this level of racism. When you looking at all these different places, and I report on all these different stories, I see this shit all the time. West Virginia too. Yeah, you take your ass to some of these pockets. Them white boys will pack your ass up. I'm telling you this. They standing on that. Right? Bro, I went to a restaurant in South Carolina and said, "Hey man, don't go eat there, man. They spitting every black person food." I like, damn. What? It said, man, if you black, they'll spit in your food. I don't care. They spit in every black person's food. Everyone. I was like, damn. It's like that. You can't even eat in this. I ain't gonna say the name of the city. As soon as they see you coming in, hey, you be hungry than a motherfucker. The nigga hock a loogie and spit in that shit. Real talk. You'll be ticked off. Yeah, what's good, homie? Nah, I ain't gonna tell you. You said Charles, South Carolina. I ain't gonna tell you though, dog. Just be honest with you, man. That racism shit, man, it's all around, man. That's real talk, homie. You know? I just try and tell people, man, it's spread. It really is, bro. And it's sad that it's like that, you know? That's not something that I want to ever celebrate because I feel sad that it's like that. I truly do. And I pray for a change. Right? But yeah, as I told all you guys, man, and I hope everybody listens to what we're saying over here, man. Bro, all these people need to be questioned, man. I'm not leaving no stone unturned, man. Everybody needs to be questioned, bro. If you're out here making an excuse for anybody, something wrong with you. All the people that was there that day, bro, they all need to get questioned, man. I'm talking about with a fine tooth comb, man. I'm questioning every last one of their asses. You're not getting away from this questioning. And the reason why I say that is the truth, man. You know what I mean? Everybody trying to let the man. I ain't finna let man. Listen, man. I don't see so many brothers, bro. I'm gonna say this again. This is not about Katie. I'm not talking about Katie. I'm not casting aspersions on Katie. Let me tell y'all something, man. I don't see so many brothers die behind a woman, man. I'm trying to tell y'all this shit. Why y'all think so many brothers in America die? Right? And I'm not saying that's what happened in this case, but I'm telling y'all, I don't trust nobody. Y'all giving these people a pass, man, they ain't getting no pass. Period. You know what I mean? And to the person who said stop saying that, no, I'm not gonna stop saying that because I believe it's a whole different timeline. I believe that when it comes out that it's a whole different timeline, it's gonna destroy y'all. And what I'm talking about the time of death. Remember, they gotta put out his time of death. When his time of death comes out, it's gonna shake up the world. When they put out that his time of death happened between 5 and 7:30 p.m., 6, 7:30 p.m., woo, that's gonna shake up the whole internet. Y'all know I be in these stories all the time. All the time, bro. I be watching Court TV every day, bro. All you gotta do is take your ass over to watch Court TV, bro. It don't even just be black dudes, bro. What they call it, the power of the what, y'all? Telling y'all this. It might not even have nothing to do with her personally being on. It could have just been something else. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's your boys. And I mean, they had your phone on the boat. Y'all be together all the time. Y'all gotta understand dynamics too, man. Sometimes when you be with your homies, man, you be with them niggas all the time. You don't be tripping on shit. You know what I mean? Somebody said ain't nothing I can say. I ain't nothing I gotta say. It's gonna come out when the what you call it come out. Why you think Ben Crump ain't saying nothing? Why you think Ben Crump ain't out here accusing? Use y'all brains. Why you think Ben Crump ain't out here accusing none of these boys of murder? Ben Crump is not stupid. He got the top investigators. They don't pay these investigators hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's not saying it for a reason. If he had evidence, he'd have busted their ass wide open to the. He'd have busted their ass open to the. He'd have peeled all the caps. He just don't have it. He don't have what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? So I believe something will come out. You know what I'm saying? There's too much money out, man. You know what I'm saying? But I know one thing. If somebody said fake pics, bro, you're not. The mother's not even saying the pictures are fake. So, nah, I doubt that. The mother actually is the one who posted the picture. So for you to say fake pictures, the mother actually posted the picture. So you're wrong, sir. Those pictures ain't fake. Those are real pictures. You're wrong about that, dog. And really, if you go and look at Nolan's social media, if you looked at his Facebook before and you looked at his Instagram, bro, these are all the boys he was with. Nolan was with all white boys all the time, bro. I'm telling y'all this. Like his whole life, he was with white boys all the time, chilling. Nolan listened to country music, bro. I'm telling y'all this. Nolan listened to country music. His last post on Instagram, he was playing country music. Right? You would think that you'll think he'd be listening to rap or some shit. Nolan was listening to country music, bro. That is true. All you gotta do is go look on his Instagram. All you gotta do is go look right on his Instagram. He put the post. When you put your post up, you can put music behind the post, the photo. He had Alabama up there. What are you talking about? I saw. I have it right there, dog. Don't come in here telling me I'm lying, dude. All you got to do is do that. And to the person on to the next grift, I'm not grifting because I'm not calling anybody a murderer in this case. So get your bitch ass off my channel. So I say this to y'all again, right? You said if anything happens to the girl, I didn't out her, and I never accused her. I never outed her or anything. Don't come on my channel lying on me. Get off your fucking knees. Everybody that was out there that day needs to be questioned, even her. And I ain't saying because they are bad people or they are guilty of something. I'm saying because you were present. Know your role and shut your damn mouth. And the person who brought her up was Tatum, not me. So shut the hell up. Tatum's the one that said that he had the text messages of her, not me. So sit down and shut up. The hell you coming in here talking about if something happened to her? No, nigga. She to bring her ass out here and speak out on this shit. Tatum have called her out. Tatum said he got the text messages. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm not even saying that she committed any crime at all. I've been the one on YouTube that haven't accused any of these people of committing crimes because I haven't seen no evidence. But you hadn't bothered. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. You hadn't bothered. Coming here running your mouth to me. She one of the ones that was up. She need to answer questions. Y'all sitting over here letting all these other people fly under the radar. Y'all ain't asking no other questions about none of these other people on the island. Shit don't make no sense to me. What type of investigation y'all have? You go off emotions and feelings because you don't like somebody. Because you don't like somebody, you'll say, "Oh, well, I think they this, I think they nah, nigga. Fuck all that. I don't know none of these people. I don't give a shit about none of these people's personal lives. I care about what happened to the young brother lost his life. They don't have his life. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna question everybody that I know that was around him on the last day we saw him alive. If you have a problem with that, that's a problem that's with you. Tatum is the one that came out and said that she's on text messages saying things. So what are you talking about? Don't come on here and say all this shit, man. Like I said before, that's exactly what I've been saying down in it. You're making my point. I'm saying for transparency in the public, for the parents who aren't getting information, she should be questioned about the alleged text messages. If you don't think she should be questioned, you don't want to know nothing. You just already made up your mind and you don't want to hear nothing else. I want to hear from her and everybody else that I can that wasn't from out there. I think it's an atrocity that Tatum is withholding the identities of certain people he said witnessed certain things. They need to be questioned too on the whole day, not just that incident. So, in my opinion, Tatum is obstructing justice. That's obstruction of justice, in my opinion. If he has videos that shows other people that was on the island that can speak about what they saw in that event or answer questions to some of the events of that day, and he's holding those videos and not releasing them to the police, or that's obstruction of justice. So yeah, something wrong with these people, man. Y'all, I question everybody out there I possibly can. Period. Like, share, subscribe, man. Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.